You bragged about what a good man he is, how good he is to you and the kids. Did you leave because you've got another boyfriend? So you don't have another boyfriend?
You must tell me why you feel like you're entitled to and why you feel like you need a order of protection.
I called it on myself because I asked him multiple times to stop calling and texting and all this, and he wouldn't. And the only way that I could get him to stop was to tell him I was filing an order of protection. I needed him to leave me alone. I'm no good with legal anything, so our son was not intended to be put on there. And when I filled it out, I asked them, they looked over it, and I asked them, just, he's not gonna be on it, right? And at that
Scoot
point
up
in
to that
time, I was told
microphone.
no.
Scoot up to the microphone so that it's picked up. All right. Now, in your petition for an order of protection, you allege that past of physical abuse to me and the children. An order of protection is an extraordinary remedy that allows the court to issue an order that prohibits any sort of conduct. It's not over, you don't do that over, minor things. It has to show that you've been the victim of domestic abuse and domestic violence in some way. Tell me what it is that you feel like that places you in fear of Mr. Ham.
Because he used to be physical all the
So
time.
you got to speak up for Mr. Lockwood. He's not able to hear you unless you're speaking directly into that microphone. Okay. So you're saying he's physically abusive?
Yes, he used to be.
He used to be. When was the last time he was physically abusive?
I mean, physically it's been a while, but there's also.
Well, a while means different things to different people. So I'm trying to make sure that you understand. There are different ways. You and he are not married, is that correct?
Right.
All right. So you're in a relationship or have been in a relationship and you don't want to be in a relationship with him.
Right.
You have a child together?
Yes, we do.
And that child, and you're not asking for this to be involving your child to keep him away from the child, is that correct?
Correct.
So why do you feel like there needs to be this extraordinary remedy for an order of protection?
Because he continuously harasses and.
How does he harass you?
Come into my house and won't leave and stands over me and I asked him to leave and he sat there for 3 or 4 hours and wouldn't leave while I was trying to take care of getting our 3-year-old to bed, consistently in and out of the bedroom while I was trying to take care of him.
Have you and he been through court anywhere to determine the custody and visitation of your child? Why not?
Because the first step I took was order protection to get him to back off me.
Okay. Anything else you want to tell me about this situation?
No, I just need him to leave me alone. Unless it's about our children, there's no reason he should contact me.
Mr. Locker, do you have any questions for this witness?
Just a few, Your Honor. Do y'all have one child together? Is that correct?
We have 4.
4
Yes,
together?
1 under 18.
Okay, all right. And that is a 3-year-old?
Yes.
And have you allowed him to visit the 3-year-old?
Up until the order of protection, he was going to where he is staying at his mother's. And then once the order of protection, like I said, when I filled it out, I had asked them to make sure it wasn't going to have him on it. But because I'm no good, I'm not going to lie about it, I'm no good with anything legal. And then the day he was supposed to be served, I asked them again. They told me, we're fixing to serve him. I said, okay. Our 3-year-old is there. He is not on this, right? And then I get a phone call from his mother saying that apparently the 3-year-old was on it and I had to go pick him up. So I did.
Has he continued to pay expenses for the kids and school bills?
Yeah, he left a note and a card in my truck and had his mom tell me that he was gonna have money deposited on a card to take care of the two children at home. And then, as far as I know, he's been helping the other two in college.
I've gone back and looked at some of your social media posts, and all the way up through June of this past year, you bragged about what a good man he is, how good he is to you and the kids, fixing you special meals on special occasions, allowing you to be the mother of this youngest one. I've not seen anything but glowing praise for him all the way up to this past summer, less than a year ago.
Because with a narcissist, when you don't praise, I mean, there's a lot behind closed doors people don't see.
And within the past 2 years, what has he done to physically abuse you or the kids?
I didn't bring it in with me because I couldn't have my phone, but I have pictures of red marks on our 3-year-old son from where he got upset and spanking.
With his hand?
Yeah.
So you don't think he should spank the 3-year-old?
Well, I mean, spanking is one thing, but leaving marks on him is another through the clothes. But that's only been once, and I'm trying to benefit of the doubt that, I was at work, so.
Is it possible that you've gotten a boyfriend now, and that's when your attitude has changed toward Mr. Ham? No? Did you leave because you've got another boyfriend? So you don't have another boyfriend? And you didn't confirm that to his mother?
I've never confirmed anything to his mother about having a boyfriend.
Did y'all have a discussion about you having a boyfriend?
She's asked me if I had somebody, and I've told her no.
You're not asking for the order of protection in regard to the child, and I'm taking it from your responses that he has not physically struck or harmed you.
Not recently, no.
All right. That's all the questions I have.
All right, thank you, ma'am. You can step down. This petition is brought pursuant to 36.3602 of the Tennessee Code, which basically states that any domestic abuse victim, stalking victim, or sexual assault victim who has been subjected to, threatened with, or placed in fear of domestic abuse, stalking, or sexual exploitation of a minor, sexual assault, or human trafficking offense may seek relief under this part by filing a sworn petition alleging domestic abuse, stalking, sexual exploitation of a minor, sexual assault, or human trafficking by the respondent. That's what an order of protection is designed to protect a person. Abuse means inflicting or attempting to inflict physical injury on an adult or minor by other than accidental means, placing an adult or minor in fear of or in physical harm or physical restraint, causing malicious damage to the personal property of an abused party, or intentionally engaging in behavior that amounts to financial abuse. Nothing in this case that I've heard thus far amounts to an actual abuse in this situation. And there are other remedies that are available to you if in other words, you and he have a child, you need to get into court and have an order put down that determines who is the primary parent for that child and who is, what is the obligation. If you're going to be the primary parent, for example, then he needs to have an order a parenting plan that allows him to have visitation with the child. And that court can then, either in juvenile court or chancery court, you've got two options. But once you filed in that court, then in that court, you can have a restraining order or an order that puts down that regulates how often you and he have contact and under what circumstances. And if he violates that, then that becomes contempt of court because of the violation of the court order. But this does not rise to the level, in this court's opinion, of a domestic abuse or domestic violence case. And therefore, I don't find that an order of protection should issue in this case, because there are other alternative and less drastic means that you can pursue to try to obtain what you want. So I'm recommending that you either consult an attorney if you wish to do so, or B, that you go ahead and file something even in pro se in juvenile court, where since you have a child together without being married, juvenile court has jurisdiction. You can also file something in this court, but juvenile court will give you a quicker remedy because they hold court on a weekly basis. So I am dismissing this petition because I do not find that it meets the criteria for an order of protection. Thank you.